Okay, welcome. I should take these off. Welcome to the Empowered Living Show. My name is Lisa Mizell, and today I have a guest with me, Jennifer Lyall, and I'm really excited to hear her talk about her topic because it's perfectly in line with what I've been talking about lately, which is how to have more energy. And Jennifer says she intuitively knew that this was the right title, so I'm super excited to have her on the show. I just want to tell you a little bit about the show. The show is called Empowered Living, and this is where I have guests that come on and they talk about their story of how they became empowered and how they help other people become empowered through the gifts that they have, through the gifts that they're able to share with their business. So it's both, it's great for our listeners because sometimes we feel like we're going through things alone. We feel like we might be the only ones having a certain situation come up. And so it's really nice to hear from all of our wise guests that, we all have things, we all have challenges, we all have stuff that we go through and how to get through that. So it gives everybody a different perspective. So today I want to introduce Jennifer. Let me just tell you a little bit about her. She's going to be talking about setting energetic boundaries for more energy and happier relationships. So Jennifer is a sought-after spiritual development expert who has the unique ability to guide others to connect with their true self. So it's called your inner self, your inner voice, your inner force, or your soul. And Jennifer is a dowsing ambassador for the Canadian Society of Dowsers, intuitive teacher, spiritual mentor, third generation energy worker, internationally published author, and inspirational speaker. So Jennifer, thank you so much for coming on tonight. I'm really excited.
Thank you so much. Yeah. I'm delighted to be here too. And I'm so excited about the synergy between what you're covering. I'm not sure if you wanted to go down to participants there, maybe mute some of the background noise that's coming out.
There we go.
There we go. Perfect. Thank you. You can still hear me though, right?
I can.
Okay, perfect. All right. So we live life, we go through life, and we have these moments where, we have these amazing days and then we have these really lows. And what we don't realize is that we can actually control the kind of day that we have. We can have more control over it than we realize. And a lot of it is about setting these energetic boundaries. And for people who aren't really familiar with the conversation of, what is energy? Well, energy is everything, whether it's, the chair that you sit on, whether it is, the vibe that somebody gives off. You think about when you're driving and it's a really hot summer's day and you see these heat waves physically coming off the road. That's energy in motion. You can feel your own energy field if you like. If you want to play with me for a moment here, and just rub your hands together. And then see if you can feel like a ball of energy in between your hands, or just some sort of vibration in between your hands. That's energy. We give off energy. Everything gives off energy. And in order to be happier in our lives, we have to create these energetic boundaries. And really the easiest way to do this is by keeping your own energy field strong. If you think about something like oil and vinegar, for example, there's a really strong boundary there, but when you shake it all up, it gets all mixed up. When you shake up your energy field, mixing in with other people, well, it can affect your energy. So just think about a time when you've had a conversation with somebody and they've been too physically close and you feel them kind of encroaching on your space. Or if you've walked into a stadium where there's a soccer game or something going on, you can feel the energy of the crowd. Think of the Olympics recently. You can feel the energy. And even from a distance, people can impact your energy. And you don't even realize it. So it's really important to establish these energetic boundaries. So by maintaining your personal energy field, so you can stay strong, because some people, they can be like energy vampires and suck your energy and you don't even realize it. And it can be really draining because it's like there's these multiple people, whether it's your kids and or your spouse or your coworkers or other family members or neighbors that are just draining you and you don't realize why.
Yeah. That's
So,
perfect.
and you're talking about that the same thing these days too. And some signs that your boundaries are being overstepped. You might be replaying situations over and over in your mind. That's a really good sign that your vibration, your energy is being drained. You might be really confused and finding it hard to make decisions. You might be feeling really tired. What are some other symptoms that you've noticed with your clients too, Lisa?
Yeah, like avoiding things, it makes you tired because you want to avoid something. Or getting
Mm-hmm.
bored is also another way of just, your energy is kind of stale, stagnant.
Yeah, you're frustrated, you're tired, you might find it hard to breathe.
Mhm. Yeah.
And so what I'm inviting the audience to consider is a personal energy management system to set boundaries. And what I mean by this and how it can actually set these boundaries is it shifts your mindset, making you the priority in your life. It makes you take care of yourself first. And it helps you to make sure your energy levels are high before you do anything for anybody else. So that when your energy field is really strong, and other people just don't bother you. It's like you're projecting out such a strong field that other people's stuff kind of bounces off. Like you've got this sort of love vibe that pushes out.
Yeah.
Do you find that as well, Lisa, that you feel a physical difference when your energy is high, that other
Oh,
people's stuff doesn't bother you?
absolutely. It's really interesting when you are in the vibration of joy. Nothing really can affect you. That's a really good way of protecting your own energy because it's so high, and you're so in tune with yourself that other people's energies. I mean, it can happen where somebody will walk in the room who's really negative and they like feel like they crushed your day. What's
Mm-hmm.
happening there? What?
Sure. So when you're well, actually, I love that you brought up the emotion of joy. So to have this conversation, I want to share a visual that is perfect. And I hope I didn't lose it. Ha ha, ha, there it is. Mm-hmm. Let's try that again. There we go. Share screen. So this here is an image that represents a gentleman, a researcher, David Hawkins' scale of frequencies. And this shows how your energy is contracted, your vibration's contracted, and when it's expanded. So you talk about joy, and your vibration, your energy field is really high when you're at this level. And this is also when you're in this place of flow. When you're feeling lower, where you're maybe angry, or you're in this place of really desiring something, or you're fearful, or you're guilty, well, then your energy field is constricted. So when a lot of people really vibrate more so like around this neutral kind of zone here between courage and neutral, this low 200s. So when you're vibing here, other people's stuff gets to you. So you asked about how if somebody else comes into the room, if you're already low, then their stuff can bring you down more easily. But if you're up here and you're more in the joy, their stuff can't bring you down. If it knocks you down a little bit, you're able to shrug it off more easily. I remember distinctly there was this day where me and my boys, we were having a fantastic day and everybody was happy. And then my husband walked in the door, slammed the door shut. He was miserable because he had a terrible day at work, and it just crushed the whole energy in the room. And I also witnessed it sometimes. My older son now, he will come in and like we can all be doing our good thing. We're in a flow, and then he comes in with this. Rah, rah, rah. It's just like, really? He just kind of energetically vomited over all of us. It's like, okay, we don't need this. You can go now, and we're able to shrug it off when we're in a better place. But it's like a cloud. It's like Linus, like Linus from the Peanuts, or is it Linus that walked around? No, there was one of the characters. Sorry, Linus. Sorry, Linus had the blanket, but wasn't there a character that would always walk around with like a storm cloud over him? No,
oh yeah,
Linus had the dust.
Yeah, I forget who that was. I can't remember. But you bring up that I love that that image that you brought up, and I think what happens is when somebody comes in that sucks your energy, it's because we're reacting at an ego level. So we're dropping down. If you noticed on that image that you had, the lower down you go, the more ego plays into your feelings.
Yes.
Yeah. So when I think
the fear comes in.
What was that?
More of the fear is more the dominant state. Yeah. So that's the negative voices that are getting into there. Absolutely.
Yep. Yeah. So it's interesting. I love that you do that. So what is something that we can do to set some energetic boundaries?
Fantastic question. So what you can do is creating a system for yourself, a routine, just like how you brush your teeth every day, maybe you have a shower every day, you have a routine. This is a routine where you create a system for how you check in with yourself and see how you're doing. And then take care of yourself first before you get in with your day. Mm-hmm. It's the personal energy management system invites you to look at how you're feeling physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. It's really quick. You're just doing a quick check-in with yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. How am I feeling spiritually? On a scale of 1 to 10, how do I feel emotionally? On a scale of 1 to 10, how do I feel physically? Personally, and emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Sorry, I got that out of the way. Physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually.
Yeah.
And so start with that at the beginning of the day. And when you see where you're at, then that's how you address what you do for your morning routine. And when you take care of yourself first, you get to be more focused because you end up, I recommend taking 3 breaks, morning, midday, and before you go to bed, and doing this check-in because it's going to build increasing your mind, body, spirit awareness. You'll be stronger. You'll be able to hear what your body needs and give it the space to be strong physically, strong emotionally, strong spiritually. You'll be eating better because your awareness choices change. You'll be happy in your relationships because you don't feel depleted from constantly giving because you're fueling up yourself first.
Yes.
So did you have a question there?
I was just going to say that's so important to, there's been so many studies that have been done that show that we know that self-care is important. Women put self-care as, oh yeah, I know that I need to eat healthy, I need to exercise, I need to, sleep and take care of myself. But when you actually look at what they do, it's lowest on their list. Everything else comes before them. Their chores, their family, work, everything comes first. And then whatever's left over, we give to ourselves, which is usually not, if we're not conscious of what we're talking about here, it's usually we put ourselves last and there's nothing left over because we're too tired.
And there's not enough to give either. So we can even do this right now if you like. If everyone would like to take a moment and just close your eyes, and if you have a pen handy, that's great. If not, that's okay too. Just ask yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, how do I feel physically? And whatever's the first number that comes to mind is the perfect number. And the next, same thing. How do I feel on a scale of 1 to 10 emotionally? And then how do I feel on a scale of 1 to 10 mentally? And lastly, how do I feel on a scale of 1 to 10 spiritually? And with that check-in, you have a synopsis of how you're doing overall. Are you really low physically, but maybe emotionally you're feeling good? Maybe you pushed yourself too hard at the gym, or maybe you did a lot of work in the garden and that's what's draining you. And so, all right, mentally, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, I'm like an 8 or 9. So I'm pretty good there, but physically I'm a 3. So that you need to focus your attention on that. And you might be surprised by some of the answers that you get too for how you're feeling. And I really encourage people to start off in the morning, start off with a morning routine, because it has to make you feel good and has to energize you. And it's going to be different for each person, but this sets the tone for your day. So I'm going to share my morning routine. And Lisa, I'm sure you have a beautiful morning routine too. So before I get out of bed, I say a prayer. I just say the Lord's Prayer. And then I have this beautiful tea ritual that I do where I'm still kind of half asleep, and I use a pendulum and I just am tuning into my body, and I ask, what tea does my body need? And sometimes it gives me some insight, because if I'm guided to more of a detox tea or a chamomile tea versus maybe a black tea or a green tea, it gives me a bit of an indication of what my body's needing in that moment. And then I'll do a meditation. And then I like to move my body in some way. And sometimes it can be just a gentle stretch. It could be putting on a few of my favorite songs and dancing, or it could be doing like a sun salutation, a yoga flow. But that's what's right for me. Lisa, what do you do for your morning routine?
Yeah, so my morning routine is the first thing when before I open my eyes, it's to set an intention for the day. And to put into perspective that everything that is happening in the day happens for me and not to me, and that it's all perfect. I mean, that's really important for me to come back to every morning. And then I do my sit-ups, and then I pet my cats. They come with me. I mean, that's part of the, just connecting with feeling good and being relaxed and being loved. And then I go out and I walk down my hill and back, which is about it's probably about a half a mile. Then I go up and I open up the chickens and I say hi to the chickens. And then I go out to the horses and I clean up their poop, and that's exercise right there. You're doing all that, but it's also, I tease people because that's the time when I'm the most grounded. That's when ideas come to me, because I'm just doing mindful nothingness and being out there with, in nature with my animals and just hanging out. And it's, I try to be very present when I'm doing that, because if my mind is always in worry state, if it's always in, I've got to hurry up because I need to blah, 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 I am totally missing the point of what I'm doing. And those things are going to happen anyway. I'm going to have to do whatever blah, blah, blah is anyway. So I might as well just enjoy the moment. And I really have been trying to pull myself back into being present in the moment. But that's what I do. And then I have I have some kind of a yummy smoothie or some farm fresh eggs or whatever I have for breakfast. And then I sit on my butt for the most of the day, which is, it's really important to be in tune with yourself. And I love this energy management system, because taking you back to checking in with yourself, because that's really what all this is really tuning into who you are and what's going on with you. So this is great. Yeah.
And so it's perfect to start it off first thing in the morning, but then you need to check in midday. So whether you do it at lunchtime, wherever there's a natural break for you, it could even be at the end of the workday if you finish off at 3 or 5 o'clock. Just find a midpoint of the day where you can do this check-in again. And the reason for this is you want to build in a reflection time, improve the awareness that you're going to have of your body, of how you're feeling. And you also want to do another little something for yourself then. And it could be as simple as doing some breathing exercises. I'd love to show you how to do a little energy clearing if you're up for that. It'll just take a moment. Okay, so earlier we started with rubbing our hands. I call this a chi bath. And you just rub your hands together, and then you're building up energy. So in traditional Chinese medicine, they talk about chi flowing throughout the body. So you rub your hands together, and then you just rub it over your body. Pretend you're giving yourself an energetic shower or bath. And I've had people's sinuses cleared by doing this. Headaches go away. Whew. You might feel some tingles in the process. You can lather up again. But it's that simple. And that took us, 2 minutes?
That's nice.
Yes. And it will, it just shifts your energy. So if you're feeling blah, or another fantastic time to take a break like this in the middle of the day is when you're feeling like getting, you've got this big project and it's just like, I got to do something else. You might feel like you need something. You might get that munchy break, but really we don't need that food. It's just, we need to shift the energy. We need to shift where we're going. So look at yourself, do that quick check-in. How am I doing physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually? What is it that I need to give my most attention to? And then do a little something to nurture yourself. So that little chi bath is fantastic. Some deep breathing. It could be that you go and look outside and connect in with nature, go for a walk around the block, listening to music, just something really simple like that. And then the third time to check in is before you go to bed, because you don't want to go to bed hanging on to stuff. And because you can be replaying what was going on the whole day all through your head. So clear your mind. If you are tired, well, then go to bed. Yeah. I don't know. I remember reading this comic years ago where the wife says to the husband, he's at the TV, and she says, I'm going to go to bed now. And then he's like, okay, good night. And then so she goes, she has to do things for the kids, and she has to put away the dishes and has to do this and do that. And then he's up in bed before she is. But you know what? If you're tired, just go to bed. It could be as simple as hugging your kids or reading a book.
Yes. Yes.
Those 3 check-in points. And this is not my system. This is your system. You create it to be whatever you need it to be in that day. And it's going to change every day. So it's as simple as that. So the concept is about keeping your energy field strong, your aura strong, because the better you feel, the stronger you are, and the better you are able to support people, right?
Yeah.
It improves your immune system. It makes you make better choices because you have this greater awareness. Am I eating because I want that chocolate because I'm mad at whoever, or is there the emotional eating aspect of it? Or does my body really want this or really need this nutritionally? Right. The importance of the repetition, doing it multiple times throughout the day, is you're creating new neural pathways in your brain to help increase this awareness. Because if you keep checking in with your body, just think, you're going to have this awareness before you catch a cold, you're going to feel it.
Yes.
And before you get down to that really, really low vibe, you're going to catch it and be able to shift your focus onto something that makes you feel better, so you don't have to go to hit rock bottom. You can bounce back faster.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I know that we haven't spoken a lot about this, but the words you use to frame things is so important. I realized that I used to say, I don't feel good all the time. And it's not that I didn't feel good. I didn't feel like I wanted to feel. I didn't feel like my normal, self. And so I would say, I don't feel good. and I realized, wow, what am I doing to myself when I'm doing that? Just changing the words that I'm taking care of myself. I'm going to go do whatever it is because I'm taking care of myself, not because I'm sick, not because, I don't feel good. I just need something else. So I think the languaging that we use is really important.
It is. I was just talking to a friend of mine just the other day, and she constantly says it's hard. Every single conversation, she would say it like 10 times, and she wasn't even aware of it.
Yeah.
So I gave her a pen and paper, said, for today, I want you to just mark down how many times you say it's hard. And just in the next 30 minutes of our conversation, she must have put like 8 ticks. So you are so right. You're so right. Makes a huge difference.
Great.
That's a whole other conversation.
I know, that's a whole other conversation. Yeah, so let's see. What else did we not cover? I wonder if there's. Yeah, let's talk a little bit about the aura.
The aura. Okay. So the aura is the energy field that emanates from the body. And actually, I have a great visual that I could share regarding that. So there's different levels to the aura too, and it can be different colors that will also reflect where you are energetically. Some people can see auras. Most people can't. It's something that you can learn to do. I see it occasionally, but I'm not well trained in the aura, but I do have a perfect visual that I recently shared.
Would it be similar to feeling energy, to seeing energy? I mean, when you feel somebody's energetic field, is that the same as like if you were a visual person, you would see the aura?
Yes.
Okay.
I feel somebody's energetic field, and I think a lot of people feel more than they realize, and they're just not aware of it.
Yeah.
Would that visual still be helpful, or would you rather?
Yeah, let's see it. I would love to see it.
Okay. Just a second here. I'm almost there. But that was a great question, because we have so many different intuitive senses. And people often think about clairvoyance, which is the way that you would see energy. But I find that a lot of people are actually more clairsentient, where they feel things. You hear a lot of people using the term that they're an empath. And so they have some sense of it, but they don't really realize that they're probably really intuitive, and they just don't know how to interpret the energy that they're feeling.
And then it can feel really heavy because you're taking on everybody's energy because you're not familiar with what to do with it.
Exactly. You're not aware. But even if if we weren't having this conversation, even just having the awareness of doing that self-check-in and keeping yourself stronger, then that would be really helpful for understanding what you can do. All right. So this image here shows about the chakras and the aura.
Oh, beautiful.
So you can see here, there's the physical plane, which is our physical body. And then that's actually the spiritual plane are these 3 layers. And then there's the green layer, that's the astral plane. So it's the orange and the yellow, that's the physical plane. So those are the ones that you sense more. So I have a colleague of mine who just walks around in her everyday life. She sees auras, and she'll be like, oh yeah, you're really pink today, or you're really whatever color today. So it's interesting to see that. And so your aura can be a number of different colors, and there are other resources that you can find out about that will tell you what those colors mean. And yeah.
That's great. Now, thank you for sharing that. I know that's a little off topic, but I noticed that you had spoken a little bit about energy fields and auras. So
Right.
I wanted to go a little bit further with that, but this has been great. I love this energy management system. I think it's so helpful I'm going to start doing it for sure, because we do walk around and we get caught up in, especially today's age, where we're expected to be on all the time, and there's so much stuff being thrown at you. It's important to step away check in. So I love this. I love this system. And now, Jennifer, where can people learn more about you?
Oh, awesome. Yes, you could visit me at JLYALL.com. And while you're there, if you are interested, I have a video that talks a little bit more about that chi bath and some beautiful meditations. You can just subscribe to my newsletter and you'll get these free gifts right away.
Awesome. Thank you so much. This is great. And also for everybody listening, if you go to the Empowered Living Facebook group, it's a public group, so feel free to join there. And Jennifer's, the replay and her gift will be in the file section. So the link to the replay and her gift will be with all of the other gifts in the file section, and that it's all free. So go and check it out. This has been an awesome, lovely, I love your energy, first of all. It's so, what do I say, delicate and peaceful. I don't know. How would you, what do you described as? What do most people say?
I get that sometimes, and I also get kind of like a fairy sometimes.
Yeah. That's what it's. Yeah, it's the light and kind of airy. Yeah, I love it. Anyway, beautiful. Thank you so much.
Can I just give another plug for your group? Like, you've got some great conversations that you're generating there. So if you want to start to connect in with some other people who are really wanting to be more empowered, I highly recommend that you visit Lisa's Facebook group, because there's some great conversations. She's got different shows where you can learn about a variety of different topics, the breadth. I mean, for who you are, I know that you are a nutritionist, but so much more. So you bring a wealth of knowledge, and the people that are there are just lovely. I can't believe some of the guests and the members that you have in the group already. It's amazing.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, it's great. There's just for any woman, it's, I mean, even men. I've had men that are more on the, like, they're more intuitive. I think the intuitive men could also benefit from the information, but for sure women. And it's really nice to connect with everybody. And yeah, I just want to develop this big community of sisters. So that's where we are.
Awesome.
Thank
Yay.
you so much. And
Thank
so
you.
Jennifer Lyall, Lyall JLyall.com.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
all right. Great. Well, thank you everybody for joining. It was a pleasure to see everybody, and nice to meet you, Kate. Nice to see you again. And yeah, we'll see you next time.
Yay. Alrighty. Have a great night, ladies.
Thanks.
Okay. Bye.